Hey, hey, YouTube! We are back once again with our SFO Grimhammer Let's Play, Episode 7, playing as the Golden Order, headed by none other than
You summon me.
Balthasar Gelt. So we ended our last playthrough having just destroyed Skarsnik over here with the Crooked Moon Tribe, and now we're going to be heading over and starting to do some damage on the vampire counts. Introduce them to a little bit of faith, steel, and gunpowder.
Welcome, brothers in metal.
Okay, alright, let's see what Clan Angren want. Defensive Alliance? No, thank you. Defensive Alliance gets me into some wars. Not as much as a military alliance, mind you. Oh, good. Manfred is up there.
More valuable than gold.
That's really where I want him. And not going to have a defensive alliance with Orion. So a defensive alliance basically means, I don't know if I ever explained that, is if I were to get in, if the faction that I have allied with myself defensively gets attacked, then I will be obligated to go to war with whoever is attacking them. But if they declare war, then I won't be obligated to go to war with them. If it was a military alliance, however, then yeah, I'd be obligated to go into war with them. So, but I'm
ready. Are you?
not gonna do either. Let's just walk Gelt over here.
The Empire.
Take a stroll over this way, guy. He's gonna make his way to Doddernbach. I want the, so we're getting a little bit of an upkeep reduction due to Maternus being garrisoned, so that's always nice. But we are also getting an upkeep increase due to being in the March stance. You see there, it's a 5% extra upkeep for all units. Let's see, I'm not going to upgrade this building. I'm not going to upgrade either of those. Maybe just the income building, because I'm eventually going to want to demolish this. Honestly, I might demolish it now just for that extra bit of income. Let me see something. Let me check something real quick. 784. And I can recruit 4. Yeah, I should have plenty of cash to recruit these guys. Though with Gelt, I might start with just recruiting a couple mortars and some war wagon. In fact, he gets... That's right, because he's the Elector Count of Middenland. I believe it was. Or Wissenland. He recruits artillery for an extra 2. With an extra 2 recruit rank. So, I think what it might be a good idea is to actually use him now to recruit. Let's see, I'll diminish my couple of those. Do I want the war wagons? The war wagons, I do want to try it out, I am curious. But I think we'll leave that for Gelt since they're not getting their... They're not getting the boost from him because they're technically, yeah, they're missile chariot units, so they're not getting his boost. So let's just stick with the 2 mortars, and then we'll trade those off to Gelt as soon as Gelt gets over here. Let's go ahead and end our turn. We're gonna have to definitely aim for the von Karstein faction first, since they're the ones that are causing the most damage to Averland over here. So that's going to definitely be our first target. But since the vampire counts in the Van Karstein bloodline, or the von Karstein bloodline rather, are in a military alliance, as soon as I declare war on one, I declare war on both. And you can see right here. Let's prevent the secession of, so Elector Count Wolfram Hertwig has brazenly announced the secession of Ostermark from the Empire, declaring the state's total independence. You can oppose Ostermark's independence with military action and declare war, or alternatively, use your political power to gather support and stop their secession without bloodshed. We're going to go ahead and rally political support. War between the Empire states should be avoided at all costs, and spend a little bit of prestige. So, as we saw, let me see if I can go back to. Let's see, Center events and wars. So as soon as Sylvania declared war on Hochland, the von Karstein bloodline also declared war on Hochland. They are probably, yeah, they're making their way like through here and up that way. Yeah, the Northern Empire. The Northern Empire is getting a raw deal here. We're gonna eventually have to go take out the Beastmen up here and restore a lot of order. We got some some orcs up here, some wood elves that we might have to deal with depending on all things, but for now let's focus on the von Karsteins, eliminate them, and then move into the vampire counts who are just spreading like the plague of undeath that they are. So we're going to shift this guy out,
Let us begin.
take Balthasar and put him into this garrison.
Yes.
Praise Sigma.
Go over here, trade 2 mortars. So for those 2 mortars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I might end up giving him these. I think they're less useful to me now because this is going to be filled with handguns. Actually, what I can do, because I won't need this much infantry, it's kind of overkill. Let me trade these. We'll hang on to these 2 for a little while because they might come in handy a little bit later. We'll have to see about that, but we're going to do that for now.
By the comet.
And then, since you can't go anywhere, let's see, does any of these stances decrease your upkeep? The rating does, but it also makes it so that the tax rate in the province, if it's a local province, is minus 100%. Minus 100%, which we super don't want. So we're just going to have you shift over for a second. Level you up so you've got Pistol Corps and Emperor's Finest. So we will go ahead and let's start working our way to reassuring presence so that we can decrease our attrition from all sources and increase casualty replenishment rate, and then eventually work our way to lightning strike, since that's really going to be helpful to us.
What?
We will, let's see, we'll need to recruit 4 of these, so let's take these out.
I am the Supreme Patriarch.
Recruit 4 of those, and then next turn we'll recruit 1 more to fill out, to round out this crossbow into a gunner, so they have more ammunition and more missile strength, probably thanks to
You summon me.
Balthasar's new formulation. Yeah, it increases ammunition and weapon strength, or missile strength, so that's good. It also doesn't help this is a rank 4 and this is a rank 1, so this will only get stronger. Same with this Null Iron side unit, which will probably end up replacing a lot of our gunners with the Null Iron side, since they're just much better. Oh, and some long rifles. Hochland. We want to go to Hochland. That is nothing to sneeze at. And then these mortars have the ability, there's no friendly fire, so it won't actually deal damage to our own units. Then we have some bombermen, handgunners, grenade launchers, which I have to see if they also get affected by. We'll probably end up replacing these Free Company militia with these hand bombers. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in these specific units.
I am ready.
In the Elector Count specific units.
Ready.
So you'll hang out there, you'll hang out there. Let's see, we might... Eventually we'll go there so that we can get some higher level infantry, but for now it's not a good idea because we need... We don't want to spend any money, honestly. What we want to do is build up Gelt's forces to a crazy degree and then move him on.
It is time.
And we want to be upgrading Nuln as quickly as possible so that we can upgrade... upgrade Nuln so that we can get that special, let's see here, this Nuln Cannon Foundry. Okay, let's go ahead. Move to the next turn here. So I don't think the vampires are going to see this coming because they're going to assume that we're not going to want to attack them. But what they don't know is that I can't abide by vampires as the Empire. The undead are a plague. A cloaked stranger from the mist-shrouded land of Albion approaches with a request. He is of sinister aspect, but assures you that his intentions are good. I can grant him the request. The promises of riches and power are beguiling, and the cost is so little. This may well be worth the investment and a chance to scry the hidden land of Albion. I can refuse this creature. Send this dark emissary on his way. There is nothing in Albion for us. Let some other fool pay for this creature's shadow war. So if I accept, I get 3,000 gold, which is not nothing, but I get Chaos Corruption +4 in all my provinces for 5 turns, which is going to really mess with my public order, or I can safeguard and get the same amount of turns, 5, but a +2 for Untainted, which is going to help me a lot. So I'm actually going to go with that, because we're not desperate for money just yet, until of course I have to salvaged plunder. You find out that a cargo ship containing treasure rightfully belonging to you, plundered by your very own men from the temple cities of Lustria, had recently arrived in Marienburg. The cargo ship was not of your state, however. Its crew had claimed the plunder as salvage after your own prize transport galleon shipwrecked on some uncharted rocky islets out in the great ocean. You send your retinue to Marienburg to forcibly claim what you consider to be rightfully yours, which will at least cover the cost of your lost galleon. Upon arriving, however, they discover the cargo ship containing your treasure belongs to Reichland. I can appeal to the electors, flex your bureaucratic muscles to recover the cost of the ship via subtle politicking, leave the treasure. The plunder was legitimately claimed as salvage. We should not sour relations with this state or take the treasure. This plunder is the fruit of your state's labor and will cover the cost of your lost ship. And I can lose some fealty with Reichland. I think the choice here is going to have to be appeal to the electors, because I have a little bit of prestige to spare, and I really don't want to lose that treasury because I needed to do a lot of recruiting with Balthasar, and I really don't want to lose that fealty with Reichland. So let's go ahead and appeal to the electors. Flex some bureaucratic muscles here.
Do not waste
So
my
we're going to walk
potential.
over to Steingard with Balthasar, and then what we're going to do,
Who calls?
let's see, let's combine these two units
So,
and use these here to round out that. And then what we're going to do is disband the last crossbowmen,
the Empire.
get handgunners, and spears with shields. You,
Now
I need you to move
it is for the best.
Dotternbach and start healing.
What?
And at the same time as all that's happening, let's go ahead and increase this tap room into a tavern so that we can recruit our witch hunters, because we need witch hunters. We need a hero, just in general, to walk down over here into... Oh, that's not actually... Okay, so it's this. We have to walk into dwarf territory. This territory is owned by Clan Angrand. I believe we have a military...
We should stand together.
Yeah, we've got military access with them, so that'll be great. So we won't get in trouble for sending people over there. I don't think you get in trouble with heroes, but you can never be too safe. And so we'll want to upgrade that. And that'll do for this turn. We should be nearly 100% recovered after these two are recruited. We just got a little bit more recovery to do with our spearmen, which is not a tragedy. We'll have to walk over to Mythgal of Vangelbarak in a little bit here, and then we're going to go ahead. Oh, actually, what can we do? Let's see. No, that's growing. That's growing fine enough. I'd spend the money, but I don't really have too much of it. And honestly, 6 turns, not the worst to wait for Nuln.
The nation calls.
But what we're gonna have to do with him once Gelt is back over here, we might actually want to send him back. Let me see. So let me check something here. Building browser, because with Nuln we unlock. Okay, so great cannons right away. Hellblaster volley guns, those are really good. Mortars. Okay, so we unlock a lot of stuff from this guy. So we're definitely going to want to do that, but we're going to have to do that in time. Alright, we'll go ahead and click the turn over and see what we can get done with Guild. So I don't think I'll be able to force march my way over to that area. Oh boy. Let me see. Looks like, yeah, Manfred got pushed back again.
I trust our dealings will bear.
That's good. We really want the Empire to hold as much as possible over here because we're not going to be able to help them. We're attacking them from a different angle, or the vampires from a different angle, which means they're kind of on their own. Oh boy, more elves. What do the wood elves want? Defensive? No thank you. They're going to keep bugging me for that defensive alliance. Okay, so taxes. It's time to rethink our tax policy. Raising taxes is never popular, but it will serve our goals and ambitions. Keeping them as they are won't fill our coffers quicker, but has no negative repercussions. Lowering the taxes would be quite the unexpected move, but will surely be welcomed by many. So we can sort of afford to lower the taxes a little bit to increase our growth rate, but I don't think we want to do that. Let's see. If anything, well, it'll increase public order, which is not a bad thing if we lower the taxes, but that tax rate. No, let's go ahead and leave the taxes as they are.
By the comet.
Okay, so Gelt isn't going to be able to. He's not going to be able to get through this province because there's a lake right there. Actually, what I might do is circle back around and go around this way. That might actually give me some visibility over here without declaring war. So let's walk right over here.
I am the Supreme Patriarch.
Okay, so he's got no armies. That's good. Manfred got pushed back and killed. That's good.
The Empire.
Yeah, the Empire should hold out.
By the comet.
Especially if they got Karl Franz in there. They'll hold out pretty good. So let's go ahead and walk this guy. Yeah, he won't quite make it. Let's go ahead and walk this guy back over here. And we can start recruiting with him next turn. That way our funds can build up a little bit.
It is time.
We don't want to do that. We will eventually have to upgrade this settlement.
Ready.
When is Fort Soul's going to be ready next turn. Okay, so we're going to be spending a lot of money there. We really want Fort Soul to hold out as much as possible, so go ahead and pass the turn. That'll be the rest of the healing for our friend Gelt there. So that should be good. Let's see, Franz is clobbering the vampires. Good. Now he's going to probably go back and heal, I hope? No, he's just going to hang out. Oh, no. Oh, Karl, what are you doing? Okay, so the von Karsteins are going to be my target.
I am ready. Are you?
Krugenheim. Didn't I just decide on Krugenheim? I feel like I decided on that a second ago. Historically, the region of Krugenheim has been ruled over by Telebeckland, but is currently under the control of the Elector Count of another state. Helmut Feuerbach, the frightful Elector Count of Telebeckland, has asked for your help in restoring his rule over his land immediately. So I'm going to actually pick right away to demand Krugenheim's return, because that'll push Telebeckland to rank 10 with me, and then I'll be able to reject their confederation and immediately gain some imperial authority, which is really great. So we're just going to demand its return. Krugenheim is right here. It looks like Ostalind was helping push back, so they tried to take this over. More than likely because the vampire counts were at war with Ostalind over here, and that were being pushed by Ostalind. They went down south and took Krugenheim back. I think this was taken over a second ago. Okay.
Ready.
Let's see. I need 25% movement range.
Step to it.
Let's go right here.
Yes, that will do.
I do not bandy words.
Okay, the von Karsteins are still pretty strong. They're actually in strength rating a little bit stronger than me. But that's because this army hasn't been updated just yet. So actually we'll keep him here so that he can go reinforce as quickly as possible, and we're going to get him... Oh, that's right. Fort Sol, didn't want to forget about you. We have to increase this so that they can't catch us out. So let's go ahead and get a couple mortars and some crossbows. You know, let's wait for our funds to replenish a little bit before we start spending money on that. Next turn we'll also need a bit of gold to recruit the Witch Hunter hero unit, which is going to be super useful for scoping things out and completing some of our quests that we have hanging around. Because we have a few quests as Balthasar Gelt that involve moving hero units to Dwarven territory and assassinating vampire heroes, I believe it was. So we're definitely going to need to be doing that sooner rather than later.
Is more valuable than gold.
Military alliance, no thank you. Again, you're going to be declaring war on a lot of people. I'd rather not get involved in a lot of unnecessary wars. So Hochland is probably heading Krugenheim, taken right back. Wow, they really cannot hold on. Telebeckland can really not hold on to Krugenheim, can they? That is just disappointing. You see, just like I said, we got this, so what we're going to do is assert our dominance. So, great strides have been made in your relationship with the state of Telebeckland of late. Their Elector Count, Helmut Fairbach, has approached you with an offer of confederation. Landlocked by other imperial states, the home of the Telebecklanders is vast with resource-rich great forest, with the resource-rich great forest being its most prominent area. However, its capital, Talabheim, is home to the Knights of the Blazing Sun, fearsome Templars who worship Myrmidia, the classical goddess of war. Will you accept Telebeckland's offer of confederation? Let's assert our independence, and we'll worry about Telebeckland in a little bit here. For now, we're going to do... So I can't quite make it over there, but what I can do, I think, 50%. Let's see if I can make it. Oh, damn. That's unfortunate. Okay, so what we're going to do is walk over here, scope out the area, and go into channeling stance. This allows us to get a bit more winds of magic.
Now,
let us recruit a hero witch hunter. Let's see if I can get something that's burn the undead. That'd actually be really useful.
who calls?
Yeah, so that increases our leadership when fighting vampire counts, vampire coast, and tomb kings, and increases our untainted in the local province. So we're gonna eventually have to assassinate people with him too. So let's go with assassinate and specialist, which increases our hero action success chance and decreases the cost.
The Empire.
And then this guy here is going to probably recruit one more of these, and let's get a war wagon into his army. We'll see how he does with a war wagon. So over here in our technology, we're going to go with volley fire, which is going to increase or decrease the reload time reduction. Or hang on. Wow, I butchered that. Reload time reduction increase, so it's reducing the amount of time we're reloading. It's kind of worded funny, but that's okay. So volley fire for all of our infantry, all of our ranged infantry, and we're going to go ahead and pass the turn. Next turn we'll be getting into a bit of a punch-up with the vampire counts. Hope everybody's excited for that. I know I am. Always looking forward to hordes of undead getting mowed down.
Mountain Lords, may your horde increase.
Okay, military alliance, no thank you. You can't bribe me with enough money, Clan Angren. Again, the dwarves, very, very angry folks. They will get into fights a lot, and I'd rather not be a part of it. So, dwarves. Dwarfs in the Warhammer universe are renowned, well known for their grudges. So if you slight a dwarf in the Warhammer universe, by example calling them dwarves instead of dwarfs, they will write your name in a great book, in a giant book, and decide that you are the worst and will be looking to ruin your day as much as they possibly can. Oh good, more civil war. Electors go to war. The rival states of Stirland and Averland have been unable to reconcile their differences, and tensions have bubbled over into full-blown war. Elector Count Ulbrich Haupt Anderson of Stirland has declared war on Averland. What action will you take? Let's go ahead and stop this inane war, gentlemen. We do not have time to be declaring war. Stirland and Averland, you're right next to each other. You're dealing with vampires. Let's think about this for a second and cut that warring stuff out. Let's see, my lord, imperial policies. My lord, the State Council has made some proposals on how to spend the tax money and further develop the nation. The direction you will take is yours to decide. So we can either go with arcane endeavors, which is going to increase our winds of magic, starting amount, research rate, and decrease our miscast chance. Well-supplied armies, which is going to and that increases or decreases our tax rate rather by 10%. We can increase our campaign movement range, our ammunition, our leadership, and decrease our global recruit rank for a tax rate decrease. We can get a hero recruit of a warrior priest. Those are really useful. We can it'll decrease our tax rate, increase our public order, decrease our building cost reduction for shrines and temples, and get an extra untainted across our empire for +2 for 30 turns, or just keep the tax money against our prestige. Now, normally I think I would take the 4 Sigmar because I have a feeling that I'm going to be taking a lot of lands that have to do with vampires and vampire corruption, which is really difficult to deal with. It takes a lot of time to get rid of. However, that tax rate, and also I opened myself up, you saw I needed to spend that 1,000. I opened myself up to a possibility where I might end up not being able to help the Empire with my prestige. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to, as much as then again, you know what? We're gonna gamble. We're gonna take a chance. It sounds crazy, but we're gonna take a chance. Go for Sigmar. Faith in our gods is the basis of the Empire. It will us give. Okay. It will give us strength in the dark times ahead. For Sigmar, faith, steel, and gunpowder, baby. Faith, steel, and gunpowder.
Let us forge our faith.
So we immediately get ourselves a warrior priest. So we're going to send our witch hunter.
Tools of judgment ready.
Actually, we're going to send our witch hunter over
For
here.
Sigmar.
We're going to send him and see if he can't find some heroes of the vampires to assassinate.
Hunt them out.
And we're going to send
Let
our
us
warrior
forge
priest
our
to the
faith.
south to go stand in this area, which belongs to dwarves, which is actually going to fulfill one of our quests. There we go. Cloak of Molten Metal quest fulfilled. We get a 2,500 gold reward for completing that quest, and we get the next quest, which is Cloak of Molten Metal the second. Move any character to the following region, the Red Eye Mountain. As Gelt suspected, the dwarfs flatly refuse to share their knowledge. His emissary does mention that as he prepared to leave the hold, a gyrocopter pilot arrived with news of a greenskin warband that had attacked a dwarven trade caravan and stolen the precious Gromril ore it was carrying. Ever a planner, Gelt sends a pathfinder to the gully to assess the threat. So what we can actually do is if we click on the Red Eye Mountain, that's going to take us over here. This is the Red Eye Mountain. This is the pass we're looking for. So we have to send our warrior priest over here. So if we click over there, you can see that there's an arrow leading him in that direction. Every turn, he's going to walk a little bit further. Let's go ahead and take Gelt over to this province, to this minor settlement over here. It shouldn't be very well defended.
Let us begin.
And see what kind of damage we can do to the von Karsteins. This seems like a crazy idea, but we totally got this. I completely believe in us. This is no way this could backfire.
Ulrich's will.
And we're going to see how much damage we can do. So it's a decisive victory, but it's been a while since I've been in a proper punch-up, so let's go ahead and do a quick battle here. So they have a couple flying units, which will potentially be a problem for our handgunners. Not because they won't die to bullets, because I shouldn't say everything, but good chunks of their units die easy to bullets. It's more that they can swarm us if they have a lot of flying units. It just so happens this army doesn't, but other armies of the Vampire Counts might now. Oof. That is no winds of magic, essentially. So we're going to gamble this. Hopefully we get something better. I have a feeling we will. Yeah, look at that. Right back up. 25. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so what we want to do is our guns. Let's set up you kind of in the middle. Put our handguns like that. So they'll be firing over there. Let's go take a look at our Nuln Ironsides. I'm curious to see. Yeah, look at those guys. Look at that. Like these guys have like little rifles. These guys have repeaters. That looks awesome. That looks really awesome. And then they've got an ability Shield Breaker, which makes their missile parry a lot worse, and then armor piercing, obviously. But if you compare the damage, 30 and a little bit extra range, but 96 damage, that's just amazing. So what's not great is that we're actually on a bit of a hill. So if we take a look here, yeah, so this whole map is sloped down, which is not great for us. If it was sloped in the other direction, it would be a bit better for us. Let's see, what we might want to do is post up. Oh no, we can't really go out there. Okay, so that's the best we got. Let's see if we can't funnel them a little bit. And what we'll do is we'll have one unit of the Eldar Guard here, one unit here to kind of spread them out a bit, and then we'll have the remaining. Actually, let's put you here and here. And then here and here. And then we'll put great swords. Great swords. Where would be a good place for great swords? Let's put them right directly behind. That way they can run through if they need to retreat a little bit. The Outriders. Let's hide you in the forest. We'll have you guys come out in a little bit. These guys, let's put you up here and here.
We are Sigmar's heirs.
Like so. Put our mortars in the back. Yeah, we can even back up this whole formation a little bit. So that... Let's have you not firing into trees. Because if you set them up like that, the guy behind the tree will actually shoot into the tree. And he won't shoot into the tree itself, but it just looks goofy. And then Gelt, let's set you up right here. As soon as we get you on that Pegasus, we can do a lot of early damage. Okay, let's go ahead and make sure that these guys aren't running away. Oh, they don't run. They don't even have the option. They just stand and fight. These guys are nuts. All right, let's go ahead and start this out. Go ahead and don't need zombies. Skeleton warriors are okay, and let's go ahead and have you shoot the croup ghouls as well. Zombies are going to be real easy to get rid of, so I'm not super worried about them. Oh, here's the thing. So with the new update, of the current update at least, the dire bats spawn on during all of our Karstein battles. So actually, they not only have the fell bats, but they also have dire bats. So let's go ahead and shift our handgunners so that they'll be able to see them right away. Let's give you an extra. Because we really need.
Formation, march.
I really want. Where are they? They're looking to flank us.
By Sigmar's will, taking position. Hand gunners. Finding range, sir. Now. Yes, sir. Quickly.
Balthasar Gelt! They'll never move.
Gotta get rid of those fell bats real quick.
Of the Empire. Spearman.
Yeah, see, they're really good at disrupting.
We are Sigmar's heirs!
Free company. Get them. Hand gunners. Spearmen. Yes, my lord. Sir. For Heldenhammer. Outriders. Yes, sir, quickly. Hand gunners. For France. Mortar. Sigmar. Yes, sir. Sigmar.
Ready for war!
Let's go ahead and throw a final transmutation on that vampire over there.
Feel my fire!
Taking aim. Taking position.
By my will alone!
So the thing about vampire units to know that's important here,
Taste gold
don't really
magic.
need to. Let's go ahead and bombard these a bit more. The thing about vampire units is they don't rout, so they need to be
Outriders.
eliminated.
Holy star! Armor melt.
They need to be eliminated by destroying them completely, which is really rather difficult because they can be rather sturdy.
Mortar. Halt.
Stop them from firing. We don't need them firing anymore, as that should be the lot of them. There we go. Vampires dealt with, minimal casualties, guns being guns. So we took a little bit of damage on our spearmen. I think that might have been due to some friendly fire potentially, or just their units. Now it looks like, yeah, they took out quite a few here. This crypt ghoul and the vampire over here did a good fair bit of damage, but that doesn't add up to 68. So some of that had to have been friendly fire, probably from the mortars, because mortars are mortars. They don't pay attention where they're shooting. They just know you point me in a direction, I blow that up. Sorry about that, everybody. I think the notifications are set. Let's see if we can't cut that one out. So it's like I was saying, vampires need to be destroyed completely, annihilated outright, which rather difficult because they can be rather sturdy. So However, when they're routing, when their leadership is broken, they will start to crumble and disintegrate completely, which is really, really rather awesome. So that's always a good thing. So they'll start to die a lot faster than they would normally. So I think what we're going to do, instead of sacking this, I think what we're going to do is return it to the electric count, because we want, not only do we want Hochland to not have it, but we want Averland to have it so that we can eventually confederate with them, since we can do that now. Since subtracting 3 to confederate is actually not a bad idea at this point, because our imperial authority is so high. So let's return this to the electric count of,
Follow me.
I believe this is Averland? Yeah, Averland. And they've already got a gunsmith and a livery, which is actually really good for us when we confederate them. So looking forward to that.
Let us begin.
And then we can go ahead and move
That will work.
Balthasar a little bit more and encamp,
Very well.
so that we'll recover a little bit.
Yes, my lord.
Let's see, then we're going to go over here and recruit, I want to say crossbows. Let's see, what is otherwise available? It's Nuln. Nuln will be in 2 turns. We're not going to have a lot of money by then.
Cleanse the empire. They will be judged. To the provinces.
He's a bit of a backup force, this guy, so it might be a good idea to throw a few crossbows in there. Worst case scenario, we can always loot this a little bit. Even though that's a sizable and pretty strong garrison, so I'm not looking forward to that. But with the addition of these troops, it shouldn't be awful, and hopefully Averheim
By the comet.
will have confederated with us by then, so it won't cause us too many problems. So let's go ahead, end our turn, and see where we end up from there. Okay, looks like Isabel is retreating to the capital, which is good. Fewer units we have to deal with, the better. I have a feeling that they're probably going to come over here, yeah. And I'm hoping Hochland actually goes over to the Moot. And I'll tell you why. Because if Hochland goes over there, I think, yeah, it's a very basic, oh, but it's running away, darn. So it's a very basic army, and I wanted them to go over here and kind of lay siege. That way my guys can come in once they've been pushed back. There's always going to be damage dealt to the garrison, and then my guys can swoop in and fight an already weakened army, which is not a bad thing at all. But since we can't do that, we have to go with the alternative, which, let's see.
Welcome to my private.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind a non-aggression pact with them. Like, as long as it's not those military alliances, ratmen. For most people in the Empire, the stories of intelligent ratmen living right under their feet are just a myth, good for scaring children. Even if there is clear evidence of their doings, they are seen as just another form of beastmen or random chaos mutation. Only a few know the full truth about the Skaven Under Empire and the threat it is. Now, with more sightings of ratmen happening and concern about an invasion from the underground, should we tell people the truth? Acknowledging their existence could lead to fear and a loss of public trust. Denying their existence could lower the morale of our troops when they have to face this threat. So I can either tell the truth and gain leadership against Skaven, but a little bit diminished public order, but twice the experience when fighting Skaven. Or I can increase the public order by denying their existence, however the leadership when fighting Skaven is going to suffer tremendously. I think what I'll actually do is tell people about the Skaven Under Empire, tell the truth, acknowledge the Skaven's existence. We fought them, we know they exist. We have to tell the truth about the Skaven, even if it decreases our public order, because eventually we will be fighting Skaven. I don't know if it'll fight in 30 turns, but we're definitely going to be fighting Skaven in the future. Let's go ahead and tell the truth. I don't want to be caught out in a weird situation. So sooner or later, Averland is going to ask for Confederation. But
Is
for
it
now, let's see. Let's walk over
time?
here.
On march! Hunt them out!
I will not.
Oh boy, she's coming for me.
That would be
Let's see,
madness.
level 10, but he doesn't have a lot of spells.
Show me the accused.
Let's see, I'm gonna see if I can't, block army, so it doesn't give me the option. See, there's Skaven right there. So if you come over here, actually, and these mountain ranges are infested with Skaven. Oh, this guy, though. This guy's gonna cause me problems.
Seek out the heretics.
But I can't actually assassinate them because the success chance is way too low. And I can't block the army because the success chance is also relatively low. And because they have a military alliance, they can reinforce the moot.
Now,
So I think what the play here actually
yes, that will do.
is to stand here. Because this is going to be a choke point battle because there is
Step to
a
it.
bridge right here. So this is actually, in theory, should be a
It is
choke
best
point.
to move.
So I'm going to see if I can't hold
I
this
am in
choke
ascent.
point. And if they do come for me,
No.
they both have
No.
relatively infantry heavy, not a lot of flyers. So if they walk through that
Who
choke
calls?
point, that's actually going to do us a lot of favors. And we're going to damage the
Those
walls over
gates
here.
will open.
Failed. Suppose next time we'll have to change his leveling.
Yes.
And you, let's walk you all the way over here,
To
Averheim.
battle.
It's a little bit costly, but we kind of need it. Because we want to get him close, but we can't get him all the way over there. Let's see, and next... So Nuln will be ready, but I'm not going to have the cash for it. Maybe if I get into a fight and then potentially loot the moot, as it were, I might be able to get that going. So we managed to have one fight with the vampire with the vampire counts, specifically the von Karsteins, but I feel like these next few fights are going to be much bigger, much longer. So I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and cut it here, and then in the next episode we're probably going to be getting into a lot of fights with the vampires, so look forward to that. So with that, I will bid everyone farewell and see you in the next episode.